Hello and welcome back to the Reaper. So another tactical replay. The mission was day 5 of the Mental Campaign and it was another pretty awesome mission. So we've got a contingent of us, about 16 of us. We've got the usual reds and let's go and have a look at our mission. So our mission was to escort a B-1 bomber that was flying in north of the red area, flying through the north area, including through an SA-10 system, flying to the blue area and then landing. And then we were going to keep that B-1 if it got there. The main problem was the SA-10 Grumble, S-300. So we had to find a way of neutralising that basically. We decided in the end the only way of neutralising it and basically completing this mission was to A, shoot down the AWACS, which is here, about 15 miles away from the SA-10, and to neutralise the SA-10, and the only way we could find of doing that is by draining it with a group of Hawks and a group of F5s. We didn't think we could get in there because there's no cover to get in there to actually destroy it. So that's the best we could do. We had cap cover from an F-15 and an F-18. We also had 3 Harriers which were going to attack an SA-6 here at Beslan and a runway. Also 2 helicopter missions, one to go and rescue tank crews here and one to rescue Matt Wagner around here. So the way we played it was to send all of these guys out to work in this Beslan area here to do all of those missions described, while Cap and Stahl head round the opposite side to do a pincer surprise attack on the AWACS. So let's run that forward. Right, so that's 10 minutes further down the line. I should apologise for the wind noise. It's of course I need a fan on because it's literally burning in here. Right, so Stahl and Cap are in place with the Vig and Run. Riddle and Phoenix are race tracking here with their 4th gen jets. That is an F-15 and an F-18. The idea is they get called in if any of these guys get in trouble. Elkin's lagging behind but catching up. Hawks are out here, flanking far to the east. Harriers here. F5s here, and that's it. Let's go a little bit further. The F5s are going, they're heading in. They tried to help the Harriers out a little bit by trying to distract these SA-6s. Basically, the F5s today, they weren't really here to kill anything, they were here basically to drain SAMs. They're relatively cheap, so we could afford them to do that job. Let's move that on a little bit. SA-6s out for these guys. They spot it, and they're turning away. There's a couple of SAMs drained there. The distraction has worked. You can see the mirages are coming for all of these guys basically. Run that forward a little bit. Mirages head for these F5s, then get vectored by the GCI to the Harriers. And this is where the comms break down. At this point the Harriers call in for help because they can see the mirages attacking. But these guys here were not on the same radio. They had a problem with their radio that day, so no one could contact the Cap, which was a bit ridiculous, but that's how it was. So you've got these Harriers here shouting for help. You know, they can't defend themselves against mirages, obviously. And the Cap here, the modern jets, just flying around aimlessly because they couldn't hear anyone on the radio. So it turned out to be a bloody nightmare because of that. If they got the radios working, these guys would have popped in, taken care of those mirages pretty easily, scared them away or shot them down, and we wouldn't have lost our Harriers. So it's a real shame, that is. But I guess that's the way it goes sometimes. Breakdown in technology. Mirages shooting on P-Man. Not much P-Man can do. And you can see, look, these Cap is just busy race tracking. They don't know all this fighting is going on. That's P-Man down. Seedor, man of the moment. Oops, just realised I was running it through super slow. Not content to get shot down with by Mirage, turns in for a dogfight. Missiles out. Seedor down. Mirage hit. So at least he took a Mirage out with him. Signori has to RTB now. Sorry, that is the Hawks coming in now to do their SAM draining. Let's run that forward a little bit. Signori RTBs. Casual fighter comes in. Finally, someone gets a message through to Riddle and Phoenix. We didn't have them on the radio. Instead, we had them on something called Discord. So someone managed to get through and tell them on Discord they're being attacked. So they're here. A little bit too late, unfortunately, because we've just lost 2 Harriers. So Riddle comes in, puts a long range AIM 120 out. That's going to be enough to send this Mirage away, I suspect. Yep, Mirage doesn't want to tangle with an F-15 at the end of the day. So at least these guys managed to get safe. That's Static and Rage. And Casual Fighter is now, I think, going to RTB with Signal Rate, which is a good idea because he's got Riddle bearing down on him with an F-15. Chases him all the way back. All good stuff. Hawk's getting shot at now by SA-6. Yep, these boys make sure there's no way these Mirages can attack these guys. Static is in for bombs. I'm pretty sure I included this in the movie. Static is in. It's going to put a ripple down on Beslan. These boys, good mature flying, saving the very expensive airframes. They've chased them away. They can now racetrack back out. More SA-6s out for the Hawks. Auntie's in on Beslan runway. Now this was a little bit of... So we had some bad luck there with the radios, right? That's, you know, shit happens. So be it. So we lost a couple of guys. Sucks, but it happens. On the plus side, we had a bit of good luck here. Now, because this SA-6 was firing at the Hawks, who just happened to be here, this wasn't on purpose, the Hawks didn't mean to get shot at. It means this SA-6, because it's a single track radar, I can only track one group at a time, was pointing this direction. So this is what allowed Archie to get in and get bombs on target. So that was a great bit of luck, really. I'm pretty sure it wasn't planned. And then Auntie came down, otherwise Auntie just would have been shot out the sky by the SA-6. She's bombed that runway. Beautiful bombing as ever. So it just shows how, you know, your fortunes come and go at the end of the day. Right, that's all the action here for a while. These Mirages RTB, they're out of missiles, they're out of fuel, they're out of whatever. Right, let's go wind back now and do the vegans. Right, so our plan was we've dived over this mountain here, we've crossed over the red GTI line, and we've got into this canyon here. So we're going to use this canyon to keep ourselves safe from SAMs. The red GTI can see us. The rules are that they can see us as long as we're in their territory, basically. So we are going to rely on not our stealth so much, but our speed. So as we go towards the target, we crank the burner up. We're 600 knots transonic already. And I must say it was extremely fun doing this. As the idea is we're going to keep increasing in speed as we go, and the idea was just to get to the AWACS so fast that they wouldn't have time to launch their QRA. It takes 30 seconds or whatever to get QRA scrambled and up to speed, and by that time we'd planned to cover this entire canyon and be almost at this guy basically, and it worked out. There's the QRA over there. You've got Grinkle and Joker and MiG-21s. By the time they'd scrambled, which is they're scrambling now, I suspect, we're unstoppable. We're now nearly 650 knots, nearly supersonic. "26 miles out. Getting lower and lower. Treetop level now. This guy up here has the misfortune to be conning, so we can see him visually. I'm just slowing up a little bit to let Stahl catch up because I want us to thump in both at the same time, basically. Right, now it's stage 3 burn on, and look at our speed now. We're well supersonic, well over supersonic. Mach 1.2, Mach 1.3. And this is the beauty of choosing the vegan. It's down here, it's basically the fastest thing you can get and completely unstoppable. There you can see our Mach 1.22. Pretty amazing, really. Okay, and at Mach 1.24 I decided to climb. I can't wait any longer. The reason is I'm getting spiked by that S300, and I know as soon as it spiked me it's going to start firing, even though it's let me try that again. Even though it's 25 miles away and I'm on the deck, that thing will still start shooting at me. And up I go. 7 miles. And up come the S300s. 25 miles away. Fox 2 robot. That is an AIM 9L. The QRA have scrambled. There's 2 MiG-29s, 2 MiG-21s, but because of our absolute crazy speed, no chance they were coming in. Notice the difference in plan here. So Cap is going up on a 45-degree path. Stahl is going to stay down to give him more protection from the S300, and then go vertical. Here come the S300, the second robot, and Stahl's heading up for his vertical pass. Robot, I'm not sure if that hit or missed, possibly missed. Robot 3, Robot 4, and that is one dead AWACS. And of course, boom, I'm out by that point, not really much I can do, right in the face. We've got the missiles coming up for Stahl now. So Stahl now needs to yo-yo over. Yep, and this S300 still go. Look at those S300 trying to track him. Both of them still trying to track him. But because of the speed of that big one, beautiful. Look at that loop. Still after him, they're catching him. And no, at this point the big one is 400 knots faster than the missiles, basically. Beautiful. So he's down, he's supersonic, he's Mach 1.3, 1.4, and he's the hell out of there. Pretty cool attack. It was pretty inevitable someone was going to die because S300s, but I'm glad we beat the QRA. I'm pretty chuffed with that. So now the AWACS is down, their GCI can no longer talk, basically. So that means that the B1 will be able to get through without QRA intercept, but we've still got to get the S300 down, which is the next part of the tale. These two QRA MiG-21s, I think they're going to head back to base now because they've been designated to take out the B1. Probably would have been better fighting these MiG... oh, right, yeah, because they've got no GCI now, they can't tell these MiG-21s to go and attack the F5s, so I think they just go and land because the MiG-21 doesn't have a particularly good radar. It's just going to have to go and land. So shows the importance of taking out that AWACS. Right, so these guys are doing their job. F5s heading towards the whatever you call it, the S300s. They get 50 miles out, and lasers, ripples, God knows how many ripples of 8 or 9 of these things out. Look how dangerous that SAM site is. The rate of fire and the power of the missile and range of the missile. Very hard to beat, and Tomic's got his work cut out for him. Looks like I've been using my video, listening to my videos. So if you're in trouble with the SAM, immediately reverse, nose down to maintain as much speed as possible, and then you got to put your 22 S's in, as I call them, 22 degrees left, then right, then left, then right, then left, then right. It seems optimal for maintaining speed away from the SAM, but scrubbing them. So you can see these missiles are turning at funny angles. That means they're being scrubbed at the moment. Missiles don't like turning sideways. It creates a huge drag element on them. And slows them right down. You can see that speed there, that true speed 1200 is going to drag right down because that's been scrubbed by these 22 S's these guys are doing. So what you want to see is a track like this heading away from the missiles, left then right, then left then right. That Kazansky, a new guy, I don't think he really knows what he's doing. He's just kind of going around in circles. I think he got a bit confused with his turning. So that's bad. He's doing 22s, but across you've always got to do 22s away from the missiles. Because the 22 left and right will scrub the missile, but you've also got to actually get away from the missile. So you've got to be doing these S's away from the missile. So you might cut it a bit close. Looks like it's okay. That's that one there that's chasing him. Look, and he's beating it. Yeah, that's okay. I think if he was in his Tomic's position further forward, he would have definitely been shot. So it shows how important it is. Once you're happy that your S's have scrubbed the missiles down enough, then you can just go straight and head away, and just pure, a distance can do it at that point. It's 23 miles away on a cold target. Even an S300 can't shoot that. So you see how powerful the missiles are, even at this range. This one's still going, still chasing after this guy. It must be 30 odd miles away, 40 miles away. Really good first attack there. Everyone did. You see this guy's finally got his head together. He's getting his S's in, and he's doing it right. That's good. Right, so the idea is now, while these guys are on their way out, the Hawks are on their way in, and they're going to try and drain these SAMs as well. Now, there is a time limit. Although the MiG-21s are now pretty useless without their DCI, the Mirages are not. So we've got to drain this SAM before those Mirages get down and get repaired and come back out again, basically. So, going to roll forward. Hawks made it a little bit harder on themselves because they've moved all the way up to the Mirage base. I'm not sure why they did this. They put themselves in huge danger by flying to the Mirage base. And it also meant they were getting shot by the Mirage SAMs as well. But they've got the S300 firing, so another 5 missiles drained. They've got 40 missiles to drain in total, so you can see how hard this job was. Especially these guys don't have RWR really, so they were relying on me to basically be looking outside of their plane and trying to spot these missiles. That said, very well scrubbed. Not a particular fan of flying sideways and notching these powerful S-300s, but it's worked in this case, so they're okay. Very hard to notch or beam a S-300 radar. They're incredibly powerful. They've used the terrain, and the terrain has saved them good. More S-300s out. Big lob shots, these ones. 2,000 knots. And they're scrubbed. As soon as someone gets behind terrain and blocks the radar beam, the missiles will self-detonate. And you can see these F5s are organised as these guys come out. And this is why I'm pretty impressed with this mission, basically. It's a hard mission. And they're all organised so that as the Hawks come out, the F5s come back in. So it's all pretty professional, to be honest. Dude's got himself out of phase somehow, but we'll be okay. Right, so as soon as the F5's back in, Atomic's there, scrubbing 25 miles away. Draining. 3 more missiles out of the bank. Turns away, nose down. He'll start putting his S's in, and he's going to drain them pretty easily. Bit lazy there. I always advise doing the S's rather than just going straight, because okay, yeah, it's S'ing now. You can see these starting to scrub now, and the speed just scrubs straight off them. We've got a long bomb here, 22,000 feet long bomb, probably on the Atomic. The higher the missile goes, the faster it goes. That's aerodynamics with missiles. Kazansky doing his thing. Elka's back in the game. Dude's just getting back in. So that's that. Okay, that's a bit better from Kazansky now. He's heading the right direction and putting his S's in. That's all pretty good stuff. So once you get those S's in and you've got enough of lead on these missiles, you could pretty much almost always defeat them. The poor old Hawks, not having much fun with it. They've now run into this SA-6 site. So they've lost a bit of situational awareness, and Rage nearly gets his headshot off. So it's just catching him up, just a few knots. 900 feet. 800 feet. 700 feet. Spots it and turns. If it had carried on, it would have caught him up and shot him down. And it explodes. So, that's that. Where are we? That's it for now. No rest for the wicked. Hawks right back in there for another run. All together, all good. The S-300 has multi-track and launch facility, so they can all go in a bundle like this, and it will launch at all of them, right, all together. One of the reasons this is such a powerful system. So 4 missiles out. The good thing about that is that's another 4 drained nice and quickly. So back they go. No one gets hit by the S-300 today, so everyone does their job extremely well. Unfortunately, we've just taken a bit too long. We haven't drained all 40 SAMs, and the Mirages are back out. And this is where it gets ugly. If these Mirages had taken a few more minutes, we would have completed this mission easily. So everyone coming for one final push, basically, because we've decided we've got about 10 more missiles in. So all planes go in, we can drain this on one last hit. But as the last attempt goes in, of course the Mirages come in. Going to start firing missiles. Huge salvo of S-300s come out. Whoops. S-5s do their duty, they get back, but the Hawks are in the proverbial now. Mirages are going to start taking them down. Oh, Wolfhound's managed to get in with the F5 somehow, but it seems alright. That is one Hawk shot down. Not much they could do but about charging 600 knot Mirages, really. The best bet was to hide behind trees, but easier said than done when you don't know that they're even coming, because we didn't have a GCI. That's going to be another man down. Good dodge. But they's not going to dodge a Fox 2. Pow! That's another one down. Bad timing. If the Mirages were just taking off now, we would have made it. Mirages regathering. Going for another shot. Missed. Mirages coming in again. For more blood. Atomic heads in. Drains another SAM. At this point, I'm hovering over. I'm dead, but I'm hovering over the site to check how many SAMs are down, and I thought that was all of the tubes empty, but apparently it wasn't. Elkan is going to get in a dogfight. Mirage is down to guns at this point. Very lucky to survive. Big lag spike there saved Elkin. You see the plane's lagging about there, so he was lucky there, and that's enough to make the Mirage lose situational awareness. It's now, I'm calling general retreat at this point because I think all the missiles have been drained. B1's in play now, so just the timing was beautiful. Out they go. So it's now a race to get away from these Mirages, and these Mirages are fast when they're clean. Look at that guy, 800 knots, nearly Vigan speed. I give them orders to get to the FARP. If they can get to the FARP here, they're safe. That FARP has SAMs, and Mirages can't deal. Even the Mirages can't deal with the SAMs. Unfortunately, Wolfhound gets caught out. He's forced into a dogfight with a Mirage, and that's only going to end one way. His best tool at this point is using the terrain and the light. It's very dark at this point, and the terrain is very hilly. He can get easily. He'll lose that Mirage's sight quite easily. So I would have been down in the dirt trying to get rid of him, but easier said than done. He's doing good S's, good lateral S's. Save his skin. These guys get to the FARP. This guy knows he's not going to mess with that FARP, so that works beautifully. Wolfhound still S'ing with the Mirage. The Mirage stalls. Well done, Wolfhound. Stalled the Mirage out. Yep. It's good work. It's really good work so far. When it comes to these S's here, the slower you can fly, the better you'll do in an S fight, basically. And that Mirage is, the Wolfhound's flying around at 150 knots. Unfortunately, he's lost the S at this point. Signori has exited the S, coming back for a new attack, and Wolfhound just lost lift there for a bit and hit a tree. So it's a good fight, but wasn't meant to be. It's probably only going to end one way with a modern fighter. These guys all make it back. Riddle's made it back. Hornets made it back. One Harrier's made it back. One thing I forgot to mention is that I never really got to see it, but the helicopters did their job. One got Wagner from here and got him back. The other got all three tank crews here and got him back. So that was 25 million in the bank. Where is my B1? Yeah. So that's the thing. So that B1 is travelling fast as nuts, 850 knots, Mach 1.5 at 46,000 feet. So the QRA, even if they had a GCI to scramble them to him, would never have been able to scramble to this B1. It's, by the time they've seen it, it's basically level with their outer base, and it's going too fast and too high. There's nothing they could have done to shoot it down, apart from the S300, which can shoot it down easily. And it has one last missile left, which I think is the closer range type of missile, and that spells the death. It's a shame, it's so fast. Mach 1 point over Mach 1.5 takes it down. Bit of bad luck, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Right, so that's that mission. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you later.